Good morning. I welcome you to the third session of table store. In this session, I want to explain you two stanzas. Okay, the first stanza, nothing but it's a third stanza. Books, it's a dull and endless strife. Come here, the woodland limit. How sweet is music on my lap. There is more wisdom in it. And hark, how blind the throstle sings. He too is no mean teacher. Come forth into the light of things. Let nature be your teacher. See here, William Wordsworth started the next stanza also with exclamation books. Books. It's a dull and endless strife. This means it's a short form of it is. Short form of what is that? It is. This is a short form of what is that? It is. Short form of it is. So what is reading books? Reading books is a dull. Reading books makes man dull. Reading books makes the reader dull. It's not active. It's not active because he is spending so much time just by reading books, so that he becomes dull. He becomes dull. And next one, reading books creates endless strife. Strife means violent disagreement between two people. Violent disagreement between two people. Violent disagreement. So here it creates a verbal war. What creates reading books? Reading books creates a verbal war between two persons or two groups. Verbal war means a war is not war with weapons. War with only what is that? Orally through the mouth. Through the mouth, that is called strife. So what creates endless strife? Only reading books. Only reading books. If you read books, what is that? You form or you will develop some kind of attitude, that is to disagree certain things. Okay, when you disagree certain things, what will happen? It creates a verbal war. There may be verbal war. There may be verbal war. There may be verbal war. So I will explain it clearly. If you read one writer's books, is it clear? Sometimes it may be, some people may like the things in his book. Some people accept his knowledge, or accept his ideas, or accept his thoughts. But some people may oppose his ideas, may oppose his writing, because a writer is writing in his own point of view, not in a universal point of view. Is it clear? If a writer writes his book with his knowledge, with his experience, with his thoughts, and his experience and his knowledge may not be acceptable in universally. Is it clear? Some people may accept it, some people may not accept it. So what I am saying is, one writer writes his essay or his poem or his novel in his own point of view, not in the universal point of view. It doesn't have universal acceptance. It has only his acceptance, and some people may accept it. Listen. And some people may oppose his writing. When some people oppose his writing, they started writing another book just to oppose his ideas. In this way, what will happen? Reading books creates an endless strife. Okay, so he write one book. After reading that book, one may oppose by writing another book to oppose what is that. One may write another book to oppose his ideas. So he doesn't accept opposition writing. He doesn't accept the ideas which was written by the another writer to oppose his ideas, so that he may write another book to oppose his ideas, to make his ideas clear, make it clear his ideas to whom, to another writer who oppose his writing, who oppose his writing. Is it clear? In this way, what will happen? There may be a verbal war. There may be verbal war between two persons or two groups. Two persons or two groups. What I am saying is here, reading books makes mental, and reading books creates what is that? A verbal war between two persons. Verbal war between two persons. That is the reason why William Wordsworth asked his friend, come into the nature and hear the woodland linnet. Here linnet means what is that? A grey colored bird. What is it? Grey colored bird. Grey colored bird. It's nothing but black bird. It has a one more name, black bird. Woodland linnet. It is the name of the bird. So he asked his friend, come into the nature and hear what is that woodland linnet song. It's a woodland linnet music. So how sweet is music all my life? How sweet is music? William Wordsworth said to his friend, what is that? How sweet music woodland bird has. Okay, how melodiously woodland linnet sings. All my life I never listen the song of linnet, and the sweet song of what is that linnet. This song, the song of the linnet bird is more melodiously than any other song in the world. Okay, he said how sweet of its song, how melodious its song is. Who said? William Wordsworth said to his friend. So there is more wisdom in it. Where is more wisdom in it? There is in the song of linnet is more wisdom. The song of linnet has more wisdom. Okay, no worldly song has such a wisdom, such a true knowledge and true wisdom. But woodland linnet bird song has what is that? More wisdom, true wisdom, and real knowledge. Is it clear? So the famous singer or the famous writer writes a song. That song doesn't have true knowledge and true wisdom. Is it clear? But this woodland linnet has the linnet song as true knowledge and true wisdom, because any writer or any singer, any writer writes his poem or his song with his knowledge only, with his knowledge. He gains knowledge from the books only. He gains knowledge from the books, and the book's knowledge has doesn't has universal acceptance. The writer writes his book with his own point of view. It doesn't have a universal acceptance. It doesn't write the book in in universal point of view. But here the bird doesn't have the book's knowledge. The bird learns many things from the nature, because bird spends in the nature. He enjoys the nature. He learns many things from the nature, so that this knowledge is not mixed. Woodland bird's knowledge is not mixed, so that the music of woodland linnet is is true. It has a true wisdom. But modern man doesn't have so much time to go to nature and spends nature. Is it clear? And learn many things from the nature, so that he learns many things from the book, and the book's knowledge is is not true knowledge. It doesn't have the book's knowledge doesn't have true wisdom. Is it clear what I'm saying? So any writer writes a book with his knowledge only. It is a knowledge only. That is the reason why he said what is that there is a more knowledge or more wisdom in the song of the woodland linnet. Woodland linnet. Come to the next stanza. Almost the same explanation here. And hark. Hark means listen. What is that? Hark means listen. And blithe means what is that? Happy. Blithe means happy. Throstle means what is a small, medium sized bird. Small, medium sized bird. Here he said what is that? And listen. And listen. He asked his friend, listen. Listen how blithe, how happily the throstle sings. How happily the throstle. At the first, in the third stanza, he said what is that? How sweet is music. Now he said what is that? How happily the throstle sings. Throstle means small, medium-sized bird. Small, medium-sized bird. How blithe the throstle sings. He. Here he means who? Throstle. He means who? Throstle. He too no mean preacher. This bird is not a preacher. This bird is not a preacher. Here preacher means one who preaches moral and good nature, how to develop a good nature, how to maintain good behavior is called as what is that? Preacher. Here Throstle is not a preacher, but in the song of Throstle there is much knowledge. There is a much knowledge. There is morals. There is what is that? Many good things are there. Very good things are there in the song of Throstle. Throstle. But in the song, in the message of preacher, there is no such things. There is no such things. Is it clear? So the preacher is intended to preach, to change the attitude of the people, to change the behavior of the people, and to give them what is that? Moral values. But here, according to Wordsworth, what is that? The preacher gets knowledge from the books. According to Wordsworth, bookish knowledge is not real knowledge, and the bookish knowledge doesn't have universal acceptance. So that according to William Wordsworth, what is that? The song of the Throstle is better than the message of preacher. Is it clear? The song of Throstle has more knowledge and more wisdom and real wisdom. Is it clear? Than the preachings of preacher. The message of preacher. Is it clear? So that he asked his friend. Who asked his friend? William Wordsworth asked his friend, come forth. Come forth means come forward. Come forward into the light of things. The light of things. Is it clear? After reading many books, man will not understand what is right and what is wrong according to the books, according to the bookish knowledge, or with his bookish knowledge. It is a bookish knowledge. To know what is right or what is wrong, a man must come into what is that? Come into the metaphysical light of things. Metaphysical light of things. Where is the metaphysical light of things? In the nature itself. In the nature itself. Is it clear? I think you get bored and you could not understand what I am saying. Somewhat it's difficult, but you have to understand it. See here, the nature has universal acceptance, because what you learn from the nature, it is right. It is same in every area. In England, in America, in New Zealand, or in India also. There is no change. And we have to accept it, that's enough. Because we learn from the nature. Nature is common for everywhere, anywhere. Is it clear? So that here woodland unit learns many things from the nature. So that what is that? Unit learns many things from the nature. Is it clear? The lineage knowledge is what is the true knowledge, and it has universal acceptance. Whereas Throst laws, like what is that? Lineage. Okay. So that he asked, come forth into the light of the things, come forth into the nature, and we have to learn like what is that? Lindbergh and Throster. Lindbergh and Throster. Don't depend on what is that? Preachers, and don't depend on what is that? The modern writers. So at last he gave a good call, that is, let nature be your teacher. Let nature be your teacher. Let means allow and accept. At last he gives a call to his friend. Oh my dear friend, accept nature. Accept nature as your teacher. As your teacher. Up to now he explained what is the greatness of nature. Greatness of nature, the help of what is that? These two birds. And now he gives a call to what is that? His friend, allow or accept nature to be your teacher. When you accept nature as your teacher, what will happen? You don't have duality. You don't have dual nature. You don't have a dual nature. Okay? You have your own identity. You learn many things from the nature only. When you learn many things from the nature, that knowledge is a true knowledge. That knowledge has what is a universal acceptance. Everywhere it is acceptable. Everywhere it is acceptable. Is it clear? And this the knowledge gains from the nature doesn't create what is that? Endless strife. And the nature doesn't make you dull. The nature doesn't make you dull. How long you spend in the nature, you are healthy, you are very active, and you learn many things from the nature. Okay, you will have what is that? Wisdom, true wisdom, and true knowledge. True wisdom and true knowledge. So, at last, William Wordsworth asks his friend, accept what is that? Nature as your teacher. Nature as your teacher. Is it clear? Not William Wordsworth saying to his friend. William Wordsworth is asking everyone, accept nature as your teacher. Nature as your teacher. Thank you very much. We'll meet in the next session.